Hello, lovely people. Welcome to 10 Phrases. Today we are looking at a topic related to business English or English for studying abroad. And this has to do with cultural barriers. So what does that mean when I talk about a cultural barrier? It simply means that there are different cultures because we all come from different upbringings, different countries. So therefore there are these differences create a bit of friction. It causes a bit of trouble or difficulty between two cultures, and that's the barrier. So what are these barriers? First, we get a communication barrier. A communication barrier refers to the fact that we all have different accents. For example, I come from South Africa, so my English accent is different to someone that, for example, comes from London or someone else that comes from America. Further to the accent, we also have different ways of speaking. For example, some cultures can be very direct. They will just be a little bit undiplomatic, but they will get straight to the point, whereas in other cultures it's more acceptable to be very diplomatic and never say anything directly the way it is, because that would be considered rude. Another example I can think of is just silence or eye contact. Eye contact or silence can either be a sign of respect, or it can be a sign of being rude, or it can just be a bit awkward. Then we also get different work styles. Work style is just the ways people work or study. For example, some people take decisions very quickly. Other people tend to think about all the detail before they would ever even take a decision. The clothes we wear could cause confusion. Food traditions can also cause a little bit of friction. For example, I might prefer eating my sandwich in front of my computer. It doesn't matter which hour, whenever I'm hungry. Whereas someone else might prefer to have a 3-course sit-down meal at the table at lunchtime, exactly at 12 o'clock. Someone else might prefer to eat their lunch only at 2 o'clock and then only take 10 minutes. So just be aware of all these differences around lunch. Holidays can also be a point of friction. For example, some cultures may place a heavy emphasis on religious holidays. Religious holidays would be very important for them, so they absolutely have to spend those days with their family, whereas other cultures might only have secular holidays, so for them it may not be as important to work or not work on that specific holiday. Lastly, let's think about a few solutions on how to bridge all these cultural barriers. I think the first thing is just to be aware that there are differences, and then to acknowledge there are differences, and then try and accept the other person or the other culture. And lastly, just generally showing respect towards the culture or the people will go a long way towards breaking down these barriers and just creating and promoting a much more friendlier environment. Just have an open mind, try and be friendly, talk slowly, use simple phrases, and that will already go a long way in breaking down all the cultural barriers. There you have it. That's all for today. See you next time. Bye.